Hi friends, it's Deanna Willison with Our Blooming Catholic Life. If you've heard me talking so much about the Dulcimer and why I love it, why it matters, why the modes matter, you're probably like, blah, blah, blah. I just don't see why she's doing this. Well, the rabbit hole I've been jumping down is really the ancient modes. So the Greek modes are Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, and Lydian. There's a modern-ish Hungarian mode as well that you can guess was used to compose really concert pieces based on Hungarian folk tunes. So you can find that as well some places. Then there are the ecclesiastical modes, or as people like to call them, the church modes. And they're simply numbered 1 through 8. Why is 1 through 8 easier? Because I think 1 is Dorian, but the authentic version of it. And so 2 is then called Hypo-Dorian, which is the plagal version. So the authentic version hangs up on the higher end of it, closer to the 5th, whereas the Hypo-Dorian, anything with hypo, is plagal, and it's going to be hanging out on the lower end of the register. So seeing mode number 1, you know it's going to be a little bit higher, and mode 2, you know it's going to be similar, but on the lower end of the range, which is important if you're a choir director. So same thing, Phrygian is 3, Hypo-Phrygian is 4. I think, again, I'm getting this right. If I'm not, please comment down in the comments below. I'm sure I'm not the only person who's confused by this. Then 5 and 6 are Lydian, and I'm assuming Hypo-Lydian, as well as 7 being Mixolydian, and 8 being Hypo-Mixolydian. Now you'll notice they don't exactly line up. The church modes have 8. The Greek modes have 7, plus you have Hungarian, but they don't line up. They don't overlap. They're actually different things because of the hypos mixed in, as well as church modes didn't use all of these. And you're going to kind of sort of see why. Now, I have prepared a Lenten hymn from the Parish Book of Chant. It is originally listed in Ionian, I believe. It's not given a number, and so I think it's in a major key, which would be Ionian. And so you can see I have it all written out here, and I'm going to tune my dulcimer to D, A, A. That's this one. I've already got it tuned. My bass string should be down here at D, and then my other strings are all going to be A. Okay, so that's how I have that one tuned, and I have that marked up here. I'm also playing around with finding out what the tunings are for these different modes that are going to work. So I'm going to play Atténde Dómine, which is a Lenten tune, but it starts out in major. And I'll tell you, I was not satisfied with it, so I started playing around with it, putting it in a minor, and then we're going to get into some of the other modes. And I want you to hear the differences. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm standing up at a table. Now I'm going to try and sit down to play here. That's just that refrain there. So that was it in Ionian. Now I'm going to try and play it in Aeolian, which is what we normally call the minor key. Let's see if I can reach over and get this. Whoa, that was minor. Now you can see, while this one starts on note 3, that's fret number. So it starts on fret 3. This one is starting on fret 1. Ionian technically starts on Do, which would normally be called, the word method would have called Do 1. But remember, for dulcimer, I'm calling Do is going to be my 3rd fret. And, okay, so Aeolian then, what does Aeolian would start on, actually, the 1st fret. What a different sound those were. Let's hear those again before we explore our other ones. So this is major. almost cheerful and bright, some of that, especially on that Domine, which could be on purpose. Maybe they want that particular part, Domine, look down, O Lord. Maybe they want that little line there cheerful. Let's see it. How it again. This is a straight minor key, also called Aeolian. Over here we had Domine here, which was sort of bright, and here it's on. So here it's on Mi, and here it's on Sol. These would be interesting to try and play them together, wouldn't it? Interesting. We almost got a major chord going. But now let's change it up, okay? Parts of the major song were bright and cheerful, and other parts kind of haunting. This was definitely haunting, but let's up our game. Here we're going to switch to Dorian, and I want to tune to D-A-G. So let me just do that quick because I'm only changing these little melody strings here. So I need to take them. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm going back and forth and doing so much today that I'm being goofy, and I'm moving one tuning peg and then trusting a different string. Why is that not? So close there. If you hear the jingling, my little doggy just came into the room. So close. Okay, now this one's on D-A-G, and I'm going to try and get this one was at D-A-C. I'm going to change it to Locrian. I'm hoping I'm getting this transcribing right. It's kind of crazy. So this one will be, I'm just again changing the melody string. This time I'm trying to change that one over to D flat. So let me move my tuner over. Get it ready. Here we go. My tuning pegs actually turn the opposite of each other, so it's super fun when I'm tuning. I have to stop and think, okay, which dulcimer am I on? Which way does it turn? Still just a tiny bit sharp from where I want it. Thank you for bearing with me, or I may try and get this part out of the video. Oh my goodness. Okay, that one's good. Hopefully I can edit all that out for you. Okay. So now if you look, the Dorian is going to start on the 4th fret. The Locrian is going to start in the 2nd. And you'll notice something weird there. That is something I did. You're going to see why in a second. So Dorian is a minor key. That can be said it's just slightly minor. So let's see if the hymn sounds better or worse in it. Again, we're just going to do that refrain part. Go ahead and repeat that. probably thinking, oh, that is kind of haunting. Locrian, though, Locrian is rarely used. It is rarely used. And honestly, when I used the 6, I didn't like the sound of it. So I changed it to a 6.5 because I have the 6.5. I don't actually know what's correct. Again, hoping a little teacher will come on here and give me some hints. But this is something you may be playing around with too. So I wanted to give it a try. Oh, let me do it once with the 6 and you'll see what I mean. Also, it's kind of awkward because that puts the 6 or the 6.5 on Domine, which creates a lot of tension. But you're saying, look down, Lord. And although he's perfect, and like we'd like a major triad, we like Do, Mi, or Sol for God because he is perfect. I don't know. You could make the argument for the lamentation to have those notes there. Look down, God. Like your voice might crack when you're saying that, if you're really crying that out. It's a very Lenten song. See, it's almost hard to hear, isn't it? Oh, I can't do anymore. Let's try it with a 6.5. I saw it. Why not? I have a 6.5. I'll see if maybe that sounds better. Maybe that's the correct thing. I don't know if it's correct, but I like the sound of it. Right? Wow. You can see now the modes. The modes are moods. The modes are moods. That's the end of the story. That's why I love the Dulcimer. That is why I love playing in modes. It's part of why I love chant, because of the lamentations, because you can go into the major keys, and there's a variety of major keys, not just one. There's one that's perfect, but there's others for that joyful praise of God. But when you need the lamentations, when you need the sorrow, when you need the misery to what you're crying out to God for, there are other ways of expressing it. So the church chose not to use Locrian, their choice, but I think it is a beautiful choice for Lent. Again, if you've got any comments or suggestions, I'm using like 10 different books I've pulled this out of to try and really understand what's going on here. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And let's just say the words of the song. They're written out on one card just so you know the full song. I can't sing, friends. God bless me. I can't sing, and so I'm going to spare you. So the refrain, which you sing twice, you repeat twice, is "Look down, O Lord, and have mercy, for we have sinned against thee." And verse 1 is "To thee, high King, Redeemer of all, weeping, we lift our eyes. Hear, Christ, the prayers of thy servants." There's actually 5 verses. It's on page 141 of the Parish Book of Chant. It's also numbered number 49. Remember, that Parish Book of Chant is free. It's free to anyone on the internet. You just download it. It's a PDF, and it's there for you. So, golly, friends, I really want to thank you for watching this. Again, put your thoughts. You can see I have numbers on my Dulcimer. These are not difficult instruments to play. You can tell I wasn't playing great. I've learned some new tips since I saw you last. Still not perfect in it. I'm trying to hold the noter down with my finger and using this one as a guide. So this one is kind of sliding around. It's what's supposed to keep this noter from sneaking over to the other strings or falling off. And so if I do it properly, it's held in place, see? And it can't hit those others. But I'm a little goofy still. And it's really when I have to make a jump that I'm having some issues. You can see, same thing here. I'm using this finger as a guide, see? So it's a new thing. I've also noticed my picks are free, one with every loaf of bread. But you do want to have it at an angle, so you're just using this. You don't want to accidentally get these bumps or something involved. That's why it gets a little twangy on me sometimes. I also really like a forsythia stick. If you're going to cut forsythia sticks and you're allergic to bees, now is the moment, at least here in the mid-Atlantic, right before the flowers come out. There have been a flower here or two, here or there, one or two. But now is the time to cut that. It's just a nice little bit of flexible, little bit of stiffness. I do really love a forsythia branch. Of course, traditionally, that would be a feather quilt. You know, if that tom turkey runs through the neighborhood again, he's fair game. If I manage to catch him and get a feather, that's on him for cutting through the hood. And then what would he be singing? He would be singing Attende Dómine et miserere qui a peccavimus tibi. Oh, wait, that'd be me singing that. Sorry, Mr. Turkey, didn't mean to threaten you. Anyway, what did you think about the modes? Again, I used, what did I start out with? I started in Ionian on this Dulcimer, and then I went to Aeolian on that one, and then I had Dorian over here with DAG, and I did Locrian with DAB using the 6.5 fret. Now, technically, I think I could have used one of those times. I might not have had to adjust. I might have just been able to not retune, but you can use that 6.5. It's a great use of the 6.5, not to have to retune your Dulcimer, but I just don't know if then the chords are right. I don't know. Not the chord, but I mean what the strings are tuned to. You can see they have distinctive sounds. This one is currently, what is this? DAG. And this one is D-A-B flat. Distinctive sounds, so that's going to matter how you tune the Dulcimer as well. I know, it seems complicated. I'm trying to work out the modes and get you some really super handy-dandy charts that will make it easy to understand. Easiest as I can. But it comes down to modes are moods. What mood are you in? And is your Dulcimer singing the same tune that you are? In Lent, I'm going with the minor keys, but I'm going to have to prepare some joyous sounds for Easter. So if you've got any ideas on the major keys and the church modes that are more uplifting and praising, and you've got tunings and all that, feel free to give me a shout out. Until then, may God bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may the good Lord bless you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Bye, friends.